Hi, this is Jeff Curto, and welcome to episode number 76 of Camera Position, a podcast about the creative side of photography. Well, hopefully you've had a chance to complete your list of 20 things that are important to you, 20 things that you can't live without or can't do without in your life. And today we're going to talk about passion and mission, and we'll use that list of 20 things. So hopefully you've completed that. And we'll go on to the next step here. This particular podcast has a PDF that you can download from cameraposition.com, and it would be useful to you, although it's not absolutely necessary for you to have the PDF document. So what do you care about, and where do you want to go? Without a sense of purpose, a project can fail, or at a minimum, it can't reach its full potential. An initial step is to find out what you are passionate about. You've already started to do this with your list of 20 things that are important to you. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take that passion, the passion that you brought to that list that made you rack your brain for the things that are truly important to you. We're going to take that passion and we're going to put it together with mission, the idea of what you're going to do with that passion. So take that list that you made of 20 things of what's important and find at least one item that really pulls you in and offers up some possibilities for a photographic project. Find at least one. And it doesn't really matter whether what sort of thing this is. It could be a word, an idea, a place, a person, an event. The important thing is that you have a strong connection to it and that it's one of the most important things on your list. Once you have that in your head, think about how that passion can be translated into a photographic project. In other words, how can you tell the story of that passion in photographs? To begin to answer that question, first we need to have you answer a few other questions. They're going to fall into two different categories. Category number one is going to be questions about what, and category number two is going to be questions about whom or for whom. To begin to answer that question, we first need to have you answer a few other questions, and they're going to fall into two general categories. Category one is going to be what, and category number two is going to be for whom. So let's start with the three what questions. What question number one? What are you interested in talking about? Number two, what does the body of work look like in your imagination? In your mind's eye, what do you picture that these pictures will look like? And then number three, what is the tone you want the statement to take? Tone relative to positive, negative, romantic, ambiguous, etc. What is the tone that you want the statement that you're going to make to take? The next category is for whom. Now, think about what's going to happen to this work once it's completed. Who is your main audience for this work? I've talked about this on a long ago episode of Camera Position, but I'll reiterate it here. Think about the concentric circles of those people who would be most interested in seeing the completed project. And I'll have an example here, both in the enhanced podcast and also on the cameraposition.com blog page, an example of what an audience circle might look like. In this example, the people who would be most interested in seeing the work are those in the photographer's inner circle, his family, in the example that I have. Next, his friends, then any peers he might have in the photography world, and finally others who might find the work interesting, like gallery owners or publishers, etc. In point of fact, the photographer, him or herself, could be one of the circles, as we do in fact tend to create work that interests us. So consider your audience and draw your own set of circles for your project. You should also consider these questions. Who will benefit from seeing this work? What is the reaction you want them to have? Who is in your audience circle? So fill in the circles and create more circles if you need them. And think about the broadest possible category of people who might be interested in looking at the work that you're creating. So obviously, we're going to start with the people who we know are going to look at our work. Our family. Sometimes we force them into looking at our work, but That certainly is probably the innermost circle. But think about way out at the broadest part of the circle, and think about how the project that you are considering creating might relate to that biggest or largest part of the circle and in some sort of audience that you might not have considered previously. As an example, with my photographs of Italy, I've discovered that there is quite a large audience of people who aren't particularly interested in fine art photography, yet are interested in Italy and all things Italian. So that is the sort of broader scope or broader circle that I'm talking about. Our last step, and this will just scare the heck out of those of you who work in corporate environments, and this is another thing I've talked about at a previous time in camera position, but we'll kind of follow through on it here, and that is a mission statement. A mission statement. Yes, I know those of you who are in the corporate world are probably a little freaked out by that idea of creating a mission statement, but a mission statement is simply a clear, concise declaration of purpose. Like a compass, a mission statement helps you by allowing you to define a direction and then be able to reference that direction as you begin to work. Your mission statement will act as an affirmation of your intent, and it will allow you to state what you want and offer you a foundation to build upon. So by answering those questions that we just mentioned a minute ago that have dealt with what and for whom, you've effectively created your mission statement. All that's left is for you to write 3 to 5 sentences that clearly state what your project is and for whom you are creating the work. So first we need to define what it is that we want to say, and then secondly we need to define who it is that's going to be interested in looking at this, because of course we don't want to create work in a vacuum. And certainly creating work for the sake of creating work is useful, but ultimately we'd like to be able to create work that people are going to look at and enjoy and perhaps provide us with some feedback and perhaps change people's minds. There are all kinds of different things that a project can accomplish. So we need to kind of take that list of 20 things that are important, find something that seems photographic, that seems like it has a photographic possibility, then make some decisions about what you're interested in talking about. What does that body of work look like in your imagination? What's the tone, romantic, ambiguous, positive tone, a negative tone that you want to take with these photographs? And then after that, we're going to look at for whom. Who is this project going to be for? What sort of audience might we anticipate having for this work? And once we've done that, essentially we have created a mission statement, because a mission statement is really nothing more than a statement of direction, a clear, concise statement of direction that we can reference. And essentially it states what we want and what we're going to do with that thing that we're going to do. So write yourself a mission statement. That's the next assignment that I'm giving you. I've had several emails from some of you out there saying, I'm working hard. That's great. I'm just delighted to hear that you're making your list, and hopefully now you're writing a mission statement, because I really think that actually writing these things down, writing down what it is you want to do. Now again, this mission statement is not a statement about your life. It's not a statement about your sort of personal corporate stance. It is a statement about this project. So the statement is, what will this project do, and for whom will it do it? So get to work on that, and I will see you when you have completed that. Give you a week or so to finish this off before I put up a next episode of Camera Position. And so get to work on your mission statement and answering those questions about what and for whom. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of Camera Position, a podcast about the creative side of photography. Camera Position is a proud member of the Photocast Network, your photo resource in the potosphere. photocastnetwork.com